Our summer has started off in the most spectacular fashion. The weather has been absolutely remarkable, and monsoon rains have arrived a month and a half early, bringing cool daytime temps, wonderful high desert smells, and all the terrain is starting to get really green, which I just absolutely love this time of year. I'm very excited for this next chapter in my life as I begin to homestead my off-grid property in northern Arizona. And my main goal over this past month has been to clear a wooded section in between my camper and cowboy cabin to install raised beds for food production. So far, everything is turning out great, and I'm really excited to see how my property will look when I'm done with all these projects. All right, so what you see behind me here is 2 years worth of work on raw land. When I took ownership of this place, I did not have one road cut in here. There were no trails. There was nothing. There was essentially one spot where my truck is parked that was open, and that was it through the entire 14 acres that I have. Now I've got a road that goes from the top part of my parcel all the way down to the bottom part of my parcel and across the little creek down there, or the little seasonal creek. And then I've got this whole area, which I've cleared out up here. I've got another area behind us, which has the cowboy cabin, which I'm working on. There's another area on the creek, and that's basically like a truck camping area. There's 2 truck camping spots, actually no, 3 truck camping spots back over here. And then I've got an outhouse down there, and I've cleared a bunch of trees that I'll be using for building materials. But the reason why I say all that is because over that course of 2 years, I have accumulated so much debris. And I haven't had a wood chipper or a mulcher or anything to work with to get it all cleared up. And so there's actually 2 areas where I stored the majority of the material. One is down on the kind of like, I guess you call it the southern end of the property. It's a big area where I've put a lot of just basically like the stuff that's like underbrush. You know, there's like scrub oak out here, stuff like that. And then there's another debris pile over on the west side of the property. And that one is basically just a bunch of like small sticks and small tree branches, things of that nature. A lot of underbrush too, you know, like that scrub oak that I was talking about this in the other section. And that was the first area. That was my truck camping spot. And so that was all the debris that I created just from cutting in that little tiny area. So I've actually kind of underestimated how much effort it takes to clear the land and then process all that debris. Initially, I thought, well, I'll just burn it. And it was taking me forever to go through stuff. Those are the cows freaking out. Something going on over there. I don't know if you can tell on the fence that I have, or the fence line over here. This, if you recall, there was a live stream that I did I don't know, maybe it was like last week or something like that. But it was showing how much debris I had up around the corner or up around the edges right next to the road there. And, you know, the debris was about chest high. I've gone through now and processed all that with the Champion mulcher and wood chipper, the 3-inch wood chipper that they sent me. It's 224 cc's. And that thing absolutely jams through this stuff. It created the best mulch, this cedar mulch that I got from doing all the juniper trees and all the juniper branches. I took it and put a lot of it into my outhouse, made it smell great, used it to spread some of it around. And I'm going to start making some trails out of it. So that way during monsoon season, I've got some raised areas that are covered with wood chippings. But I'm really pleased to have this, and Champion shot me this, so I'm really pleased to be working with Champion on this because I've been needing something to get rid of this debris. It's just been stacking up and stacking up. Another thing too is I want to show you over here. These are the tree branches that are left over just from basically 2 trees that I chopped down, and so you know, these would be good to burn through the chipper. Most of them are a 3-inch diameter or smaller. The ones that are larger, those are the ones that I actually use for fence posts over in the garden area. But here is basically just all these branches which I need to chop up and run through the chipper. And this is a small amount compared to like the other debris piles that I have. And so it's just been a tremendous amount of effort to get this place cleaned up and like actually get it workable and not feel like I'm totally confined. Because when I first got here, you know, I had my camper set up right here because this spot was open, and then I was like, well, I can cut into the camper there, and it was like super tight. And then, you know, I started working on the property here, getting this part of the road put in. And if you recall, I was using a wheelbarrow, a shovel, and a rake. And I don't know what I was thinking, because that's just not going to work. But having these power tools now, it's just a lifesaver. So This Champion one, I want to show you. You know, it was pretty easy to put together when they sent it over to me. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit harder, but they dialed it in with their instruction manual and then also just the ease of setup. Very pleased with the way things are turning out though around here with the garden area. I'm going to mulch up the rest of these right here. These are the smaller branches which I need to process. And the thing I'll do is when I run them through the chipper, I always make sure to get rid of these little smaller branches because they can snag on stuff, and they can also hang up and not go all the way through the chipper. So just process all those off when you run it through there and you're set. The garden area though is looking real good. I'm real pleased with the way all the land kind of cleared out here, and I'll be excited to get all this out. I may make just like a mulch pile right here, just some cedar mulch, just to kind of have it available if I need to like quick grab it. I want to see what sort of mulch we have in here. We have about, I don't know, maybe half the bag full at the moment. And this is cedar wood. It's a juniper that I'm shredding up right now and chipping up. So I want to see what this looks like. So, oh, it's that type of, it just smells like cedar. It smells amazing. So I'm going to put some of this into my toilet over there just to make it smell a little bit better, because it's like a natural air freshener for it. And it also soaks up any moisture that's in there. And so I'm going to put that in there a little bit, and then probably use some of it to probably just start making a pile actually right back over there, because the goal today is to get rid of all those trees that I've accumulated from just clearing this area out. And so this is going to help me though with just gardening and making some walking paths during like monsoon season and stuff like that. So this chipper is going to come in extremely handy, and I have so much debris to take care of. So it's going to be really nice to get this all knocked out. So one thing about monsoon season around my area is that this soil here next to my camper, until it gets about to right up there and over there where that rock is, the whole area in between here gets really muddy. And one of the things that one of the primary uses that I plan to have for the wood chippings and the mulch is to get these areas kind of dialed in, so that way I can have about 3 or 4 inches of mulch on top of them. So that way when monsoon season hits, I can have like some walking areas through here. I'm also going to do it for the walking paths as well, right through here. So I started laying a little bit down, but I've got to lay down a lot more. There's not very much, as you can see. It's just a little bit, maybe about a 1/2 inch. And then over here, I cleared out a section where used to have a lot of cactus and all that stuff through here, but I kept all the pinyon pines, and I'm going to use the mulch to put them up around here and kind of build that, that cone in here. That way when I water these, that one, this one right here, there's another pinyon that's over here. And that way when I water these, the mulch can help keep the moisture in, and I can create like that barrier around to help the moisture come in. So that's the primary purpose that I'm going to use for the mulch. And I've got so many trees to go through, and I'll have this whole area covered, which would be great. All right, just a few pointers here to help you out with using the Champion chipper shredder here. Just the basics real quick. It's 224 cc engine. Seems to do just fine with processing up the limbs, which I have, you know, like this. It does take 87 gas or above, so no E85. So just a heads up on that. You do have a gas switch here, which I always turn off when I'm not using the chipper. It does have a little switch too for on off, so that way you can just flip it on and off. But like I said, every time I turn this off though, I do turn the gas off. So just a heads up. Up top here, we're looking at, this is your shredder bag, where the chips come out from the mulch. You've got your shredder up top, and I've primarily just been using the chipper right here to feed these logs through, because these are like the branches that I'm working with juniper. And the only thing is, if you see this branch, it looks a little bit crooked. You know, it's like it's not 100% straight. So in that regard, I think this one would be fine going through here. But some of them, if they're bent too much, you want to cut it at the bend, and then that way you can feed it through, because it won't take a branch that's like super wavy and go through there. Eventually, it goes into like a shoot area. So just a heads up for when you're doing the chipping. But it makes really nice mulch. What you do with this bag is over on this side over here. This is where the mulch comes out. You can adjust this to go up or down to kind of have it come out here. What I do is I just put this over here like this, and then you just simply cinch it on, and you're good to go. The wheels on this are real sturdy, so transport is no problem. And then you just want to make sure that you have it on a level surface when you're using it. You know, when you're feeding stuff through here, if things ever do get clogged, you have a way on the back here. Let me show you. You can remove this and unclog the entire area back in here. So if it ever gets clogged up, what you do is you obviously you turn off the machine, but then you just undo these bolts and you get in the back here, and I think that's how you access it. Let's see, is that it? Yep, that's how you access it. I'm real pleased with this. Real easy to move it around the ranch, and been really going through and processing, you know, a ton of stuff. And so I'm really pleased to get through the rest of this debris that I have here, because I mean, just having this in the past week and what I've been able to accomplish as far as breaking stuff down has been light years compared to me trying to burn everything. Because trying to burn it all, I mean, you know, right now we're in the high wind season, and so you don't want to burn a whole lot, especially open fires when the wind's going, because you could potentially, you know, light the forest on fire, and you don't want to do that. And so having this chipper shredder has just been a really great lifesaver, and it's helped me just process so much stuff. So the way that Champion works is they actually have dealers all across the country that rep these and have them at their facilities and available for sale on their websites. And so the website, the Champion website, to where you can check out where your dealer is at in your area, the link's located in the video description below. So if you're interested in getting one of these, you know, I'd highly recommend it. If you're going through and you're processing raw land, you definitely need a chipper shredder, because, you know, if it has any sorts of trees or bushes on there, you're just going to accumulate a ton of debris. I mean, I'm floored at how much I've put down in the secondary, you know, dump pile area, as opposed to the primary one, which was the first area. The second one that I set up, it's amazing. That whole area is almost filled up now. You know, and I've still got a ton more stuff to take down there. So this thing's I'm gonna keep this machine busy for a while. So anyway, all right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section below, and have a good day.